So today our lesson is about digestive system. Digestive system. Digestive system. A system is a group of organs that are organized to perform specific particular function. So here digestive system consists of the organs and they are organized to perform digestion. So what are the organs that are helping here to support digestion? Starting from the oral cavity. Oral cavity contains different organs, then the esophagus, then the stomach, small intestine, and large intestine. And then the last part, the anus. You have to memorize all these parts in sequence. The small intestine is further divided into three main parts. Number one, duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. And large intestine is also further divided into three main parts: cecum, colon, and rectum. A question can be asked from you that the digestion of carbohydrate starts at which part of the digestive system? So the carbohydrate digestion starts at oral cavity. The protein digestion starts at stomach level, and lipid digestion starts at small intestine level. For general information, every useful component is maximally absorbed at the level of ileum. Maximum absorption of every useful component of food is absorbed here. Now, how many glands are there? Pancreas is a gland, and liver is a gland. These two are main glands of digestive system. Liver secretes bile, and pancreas secretes pancreatic juice. Pancreatic juice. Now, rectum. Rectum helps in water absorption. These are the few information about the digestive system. One thing that you must know is humans have special type of nutrition, that is holozoic nutrition. Holozoic nutrition divided into 5 steps. Number one, ingestion, that is taking enough food. Digestion, that is breakdown of large food molecules into smaller diffusible molecules. And then absorption. Absorption means the absorption of diffusible molecules into the blood. And assimilation is actually the utilization of the absorbed food, which also includes the storage of absorbed substances. Number five, the last part, egestion. Egestion can also be regarded as defecation, that is removal of waste in the form of feces from the body. Now, starting from the oral cavity. Starting from the oral cavity. This oral cavity have number one, teeth for grinding, mastication, and cutting. Number two, tongue for the mixing of the food with the enzyme and other secretions. Number three, the glands. It can be seen that the salivary glands are present in the oral cavity. There are three types of salivary glands: parotid, sublingual, submandibular. Sublingual means below the tongue, submandibular means below the mandible. There are total six salivary glands, that is three pairs. Each type of salivary gland have one pair. So, which type of glands are there? Salivary glands. Salivary glands. These glands secrete saliva, and this saliva contains three main components: mucus, that is a medium for the salivary amylase. The second one is salivary amylase, that is an enzyme. And number three, lysozyme, that is actually involved in the digestion of the microbes. So salivary amylase is involved in digestion of polysaccharides. Polysaccharide, that is a starch. That is starch and is converted to monosaccharide. Sorry, disaccharide. Converted to disaccharide, which is a maltose. Then after that, from the mouth, the food is converted into bolus. Now there are two tubes. One is known as esophagus, and the other one is the trachea, that is the windpipe. They are present side by side with each other, and the trachea is covered with a flap of cartilage known as epiglottis. Epiglottis actually prevents the entry of bolus into the trachea, just like this. This one is epiglottis. Whenever a food, a bolus try to enter into the trachea, it becomes more or less horizontal, which prevent the entry of bolus into the trachea, and the bolus goes into the esophagus. Now there is a special movement of esophagus which is known as peristalsis. What is peristalsis? Peristalsis is the wave of contraction and relaxation and relaxation starting from esophagus and ends at anus along the digestive tract. Then the esophagus, from the esophagus, the bolus enters the stomach through a special kind of through a special sphincter which is known as cardiac sphincter. The stomach has three muscle layers: longitudinal layer, circular layer, and oblique layer. And it has specific glands which are known as gastric glands. Gastric gland release the gastric juice. This gastric juice contains the mucus. Number two, pepsinogen, which is the inactive form of the enzyme, inactive. And number three, the HCl, hydrochloric acid. The pepsinogen is released in the inactive form and is converted into pepsin, which is active form with the help of two factors. With the help of two factors. Number one, the protein food, and number two, the acidic pH, which is maintained by the HCl. Now, what is the function of pepsin? Pepsin is the enzyme which converts the protein into polypeptides and peptones. Now, when food enters the stomach, it is called as bolus. And after the digestion of, with the help of pepsin enzyme and mixing with the HCl and mucus, then it leaves the stomach and enters the duodenum. And at this point, this is known as chyme. When the chyme enters the small intestine, chyme enters the small intestine. Now, small intestine has three parts: duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. Duodenum is important because all the three components of food, that is carbohydrates, proteins, and lipids, all the three components of food are digested here with the help of enzyme. Now, from where these enzymes come? Look at this. There are two glands. Number one, liver, and number two, the pancreas. Liver secretes bile. You can say the bile is produced in liver and is stored in the gallbladder. Bile stored in the gallbladder. And pancreas release pancreatic juice. Pancreatic